Welcome everyone to Health Coach TV. If you are a woman in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, and you are looking to lose weight, get fitter, stronger, healthier, and have it last, you are in for a show. Here we go. So, hey, Ange, it is so great to see you.
Hey, Dr. Shauna, so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you are such a force to be reckoned with. You are a woman who walks her talk. So let me give you a proper introduction. So Angela Laninga lives in Manitoba, Canada, which is actually where I grew up. And she lives with her husband and grown daughter. She's been in the fitness industry for 30 years, and she has been passionate about fitness, and she knows from her experience that exercise is only a small piece of the puzzle when it comes to weight loss and overall health and wellness. And with that, she is now dedicated to bringing the rest of the puzzle pieces to her clients and helping them truly achieve the healthiest, fittest version of themselves. So with that, welcome, Angela. How are you?
Oh, I am great. Thanks again for having me, Shauna. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, this is really great. It's a really great opportunity for people to know what it is that you do, the amazing work that you're doing, and the amazing results that you're getting, and kind of defying logic on a problem that's pretty common. It's a common problem, but the solutions kind of elude a lot of people. So just let's start off with just telling people what it is that you do.
So I help busy 40 plus women ditch diets and peel off their pandemic pounds so they can reclaim their energy and have the confidence to fiercely live their lives looking and feeling better than ever.
I love it. I love it. So, and you mentioned pandemic pounds. Now, even though you've been in the fitness industry for over 30 years, it was really that pandemic that inspired and really broke open this next phase of helping women. So tell us a little bit about that. Like what had you get into this line of work that you're doing now?
Well, I'm going to start at the beginning. So on my
Yeah.
first of many attempts at permanent weight loss, I started doing what they used to call aerobics and quickly became obsessed. So by the time I was 22, my passion for fitness took me from the crowd to on the stage. I was a group fitness instructor. And as a group fitness instructor, it was pretty easy for me to out exercise most of my problems. But like many women, I still had as many weight fluctuations as there were diet trends. And I feel like I tried them all. When the pandemic started, my fitness career came to an abrupt stop. The gyms closed. I was no longer in my regular fitness routine, and I started to pack on the pounds. I knew two things, and one of them was that I could not get back on the stage looking and feeling the way I did. And two was that this time I was going to figure out this weight loss thing once and for all. And I did. So I came out of the pandemic and menopause. I didn't even realize I was going through it, looking and feeling better than ever.
Okay, so not only, and I think, through the pandemic, people who were used to going to the gym, they got hit hard, and the gyms got hit hard. They were like some of the that area especially, that was a lot of people's anchor for keeping healthy through a time when you're trying to improve your health, and then that option's down. Liquor stores were open, mind you. The liquor stores were open.
Yeah.
But the gyms, no, they were closed. But anyways, so but you had, not only were you not able to do your livelihood and your regular routine, the thing that you love, teaching those classes for a bit, but teaching those classes was part of your fitness routine. It helped you. I mean, if you're teaching it, you're also doing it, and you're fit. So that routine's gone. You got the pandemic and all the stress and everything of that, but also menopause. You had the trifecta, the triple whammy. So tell us about, unpack that a little bit. Tell us more about what all happened there.
Well, like I said, I didn't really realize I was going through menopause. So that might have been a good thing. But
Yes.
I just, when I noticed that I had gained the weight, I thought back at my previous weight loss attempts and why the results were temporary at best. And two things stood out for me. So, first, that diets typically focus on deprivation in one way or another. And you know as well as I do, Dr. Strada, that as soon as you can have something, you want it even more.
Mhm.
Secondly, diets by nature are temporary. The rules typically are difficult and in many cases unsafe to follow long term. So we eventually return back to our old habits and the weight comes back on.
Right.
I knew that I was not looking for temporary results, right? So this time I took the exact opposite approach. Instead of focusing on taking things away, I started to really look at adding things to my diet. I took a really good look at what our bodies need every day to be healthy from the inside out. And I started to fill in those gaps, the gaps in my diet, the gaps in my lifestyle. I tweaked my workout routine. I had to, and the weight literally fell off. Now I love that I have reclaimed my energy, my confidence. I'm not just living life, I am loving life and looking and feeling better than I did at 50 than I did in my 30s.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And you don't look like you're in your 50s. I know you're
Oh,
in
thank you.
early 50s. So I'm glad you shared that because people are like, well, it's easy for her. But no, no. And when we bring that menopause in, and like a lot of women, I'm going to say, when we hit menopause, I'm just speaking in generality, but for a lot of women, menopause in North America, anyways, kind of starts the beginning of the end. So maybe they were like fit in their 20s and 30s, and then they're having babies and they're keeping it together in 40s, and then they're stressed with work and that, but they're keeping it together. But kind of when they hit their 50s and their menopause is kind of like the last straw. It's like, okay, I'm out, I'm tapping out. Like, I'm going to let the weight go. I'm going to just deal with it. And they sometimes think like they have to have that bloated belly or the menopause, as they call it, and, you know, decline their strength, lose their, energy, become more frail, all that kind of stuff. So here's my question. So you kind of, it sounded like you kind of like when you were going through menopause with this, did you um, focus on, okay, how do I deal with the like hot flashes or something like that, and like I got to counteract that, or were you looking more like, okay, here's the thing, and I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to just be my healthiest ever, I'm going to adopt the healthiest things ever, and you just really focus on the solution rather than any particular problem. So tell us a little bit about this, how menopause fit into this for you.
Yeah, well, I think I alluded to it earlier that I kind of didn't really realize that I was going through menopause. I mean, there were some things. Um, so I really think that I feel like my focus was really just on getting healthier and fitter from the inside out, like I talked about. Like I just wanted to get healthier again. I just didn't feel right, and I was done with this yo-yo thing that had been going on my whole life as well. And I started to just think about the nutrition and the lifestyle and do all those things. And I think that's why I almost didn't really realize that I was going through menopause. It was, I
Yeah.
mean, I had a few symptoms and such, but it wasn't a focus for me. And I just think that it was just a spin-off benefit that I was able to breeze through it a lot easier than I hear from a lot of women. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And there's a teaching point in there, I think, rather than focusing on a band-aid solution for a symptom. And hey, if you need the band-aid, stop the bleeding, do it. But getting to that root cause and crowding out, like you said, adding in those foods, it's huge. And you had your own experiment with it with the pandemic, and this unique environment where things changed, your body changed, and then you kind of got out ahead of it really and took control of it and sort of got your solution before you even had the problem or the question. It sounds like that kind of happened, not for me, but in a similar thing when I was working in Calgary as a doctor, and then I was living in Kelowna, so I would fly to work. So right when I was going through menopause, so I had this unique environment. So I would be, and I noticed, even though it was the same age of me, same diet really, and all of these other factors, but at the clinic it was stress, go 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 go, stress, and I only had hot flashes when I was in Calgary. And then I'd fly to Kelowna where I was doing health coaching and I didn't have that same stress level and there was no hot flashes. So that environment and what we're doing. So what you really were doing is like my Kelowna version all the time, all the time, for the most
Yeah.
part. And so, but but most people live in, a lot of stress, and they don't realize how much the stress or then the food changes or the late nights and the junk food, how big a player that really is in it. So I love that example. It kind of explains why women in other cultures, outside of North America, uh, don't really have the problems that we do as a rule. Like menopause is people have a lot of symptoms with that. And in other places, in like what you did, you sailed right through. It was just like not really a big phase, not really a big problem to be addressed. But there you were on the other side of it, and had armed your body to be able to navigate that. I absolutely love that. I love it.
I love your story. That's pretty incredible.
Well, and the two together, I think that can be really helpful because if you only, most people don't have those stories, right? Most people just live their life and then everybody else, my mom said, just because everybody else is doing it doesn't make it right. So just because everybody else is stressed and gaining weight and feeling not great doesn't make it right. And I did have more of those symptoms because I did have, half time where I was living a double life there. So all of this experience with being able to with being thrown off your game and then getting back on your game and sort of solving once and for all this diet roller coaster. Is that why you decided to become a health coach? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when I kept hearing from women like me struggling with extra pandemic pounds and more importantly, just missing out on life, I knew I had to help them. So after years of helping people feel stronger on the outside, it was then that I realized I really just wanted them to be healthier, to help them be healthier, stronger, and fitter from the inside out.
Yeah, I remember you telling me because you really love your clients at the gym, and they become like friends. You really
Yeah.
establish relationships. You go there many times a week. You see them, frequently. And I remember you saying as you went through that pandemic, you're like, oh my goodness, these people used to go all the time. They were on a plan, they were in a rhythm, they were in a routine, and then a lot of them got thrown off their game. You too, to some extent initially, but they really got thrown off. And not only were they not going to the gym, they weren't doing anything. And then once you get spiraling out, then all of the other unhealthy habits were going in, and they were gaining weight, and they were more tired. And when we were, ideally you should be improving your own immunity and energy. They were losing it. And I remember you sharing with me how you're just like, like, how can I get them, to get back on track? And then when the gyms opened up, they weren't coming back and they fell out of the routine. They got used to a new routine. And you're like, how can I get people to come back? How can I get people to get back on track? They were doing a good job. It's okay. You can get back. And, your typical, instructor, their fitness instructors full of, positivity, like, your cheerleader, you can do this. But, they're off in their own home in their dark own little world. And just like, it's like, how can I do that? But also recognizing it's not just about the exercise. There's these other things too. And to some extent, they were outrunning it, trying to exercise it off like you were trying to exercise the problems away as well, to some extent. Yeah, I know that was you were on a mission to help women get back and be healthy because you've done it. You're like, I'm back. You guys can do it too. And that
Yeah.
was like really a big calling on your heart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I heard many people say, I want to get back to the gym, but I need to get in shape first. I was like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? It was like they wanted to get back to their old fit self before they got to the gym.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it
What do
was,
you think that's about? Is that because they what do you think that's about? Do you think that's
I don't
because
know. Maybe to get because they're going to be around the same gym people again. I'm not really sure. They, I mean, I did remind them. I said, you do remember there was a time when you didn't come to the gym, and then you came to the gym, right? So there was a time that you had never been to the gym.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right, I tried to remind them of these things, but just I don't know what the pressures were. I think a little bit was a social thing, seeing their people that they used to see, work out with, and not being able to perform, or just not feeling themselves, or not looking like themselves. I
Yeah.
think was just a lot of stress. I mean, it still is a lot of stress
Yeah.
for a lot of people out there. And yeah, I
Yeah.
feel for them. I want to get
Yeah,
them back.
little embarrassment about,
A
that
little.
they kind of let themselves go, or they don't want to be seen that way. And part of them knows that's not who they really are, um, and but I think women out there can relate. And I know you wanted to say, hey, it doesn't matter. You start where you are today. It is as it is, and you start today, and then you move forward. But trying trying to get there on your own is tough. And especially for the women that you help, they're busy and things, it can be really tough. So how do you work with your clients? What does that look like?
Yeah, so most of my clients are women in their 40s and 50s, who kind of lost their way through the pandemic, most of them,
Yeah.
just struggling with unhealthy weight, wanting to ditch diets, lose the weight, of course, and permanently, right? Not another temporary fix, and just getting back to living their lives, getting back to the gym, but are confused how to do it.
Yeah.
So I walk them step by step through my not good, my Fit and Fabulous program. I take them
From fat to fit, from fat to fit.
not what we want to say. Fit and Fabulous program, where I take them from overweight, low on energy, and confidence, to just on the other side of it, full of energy, fiercely living their lives, looking and feeling better than ever.
Yeah.
I work with them pretty closely. I mean, very closely. I meet with them on the regular, primarily virtually. So it's easy for anyone, anywhere. There's plenty of accountability and support, but also they know the exact steps to take to get them on the other side, get them back to living their lives. And the most important thing to me and to them is that we get results.
Yeah. Excellent. I love that. So as someone, Ange, who has been in the health and fitness industry for over 30 years, what do you think is the biggest myth when it comes to women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, in terms of weight loss and fitness?
Yeah. So I mean, for anybody really, most people believe it takes drastic or extreme measures to lose weight, and that they can cut out, or they can out exercise their weight loss issues.
Yeah.
But you can't outrun your fork. You also can't out exercise, or exercise to compensate for other things like stress or other things that are going on in your life. Weight loss or weight control is not a one and done situation. So we can't say, phew, okay, I lost the weight. Now I never have to worry about it again. Our weight, well, our health really is something we need to work on every day. This is why it's so important to create simple habits that you can stick to for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Baby steps towards big results is the key to sustainable weight loss and lifelong health.
Love it. Yeah. So not big things that lead to the results. It's those little baby steps to lead to those big results. Yeah, I love it. And you are certainly someone who walks your talk, and just are an exact example of what you are talking about. And there is no finish line. It's like brushing your teeth. It's not like, well, I brush my teeth today, don't have to do that for the rest of my life. But I think you're right. I think a lot of people do approach it like it's a finish line. Okay, I lost the 20 pounds. It'll never come back. Next. No, no, no. You have to keep doing what you're doing. And so, well, what are a couple of tips? You've helped women, for many years now. What are some tips that you can share with our viewers who might be struggling with weight and trying to keep it off, and trying to improve their health? What are some tips that you can share?
Okay, yeah, I got a couple great tips. So drink lots of water. The old standard of 8 glasses a day is not enough. Most of my clients are surprised to find out that they need to drink 3, sometimes 4 liters of water a day or more. The second tip, move your body every day. It doesn't have to be a big, intense workout. Just move your body in a way that feels good. Walking is super accessible. It's a great way to move your body and help you reduce your stress.
Yeah.
And oh, I got one more. Can I give you one more?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Go for it.
Amp up the vegetables. So try to add more color to your plate by adding a variety of vegetables. Let's see how many colors of the rainbow you can hit every day.
Yeah, I love that. And those are simple tips, but that's the point. And most people aren't doing it. And I agree with you. I have so many examples of water and how more is generally better. More is better. And most people are not having enough. Moving your body in a way that feels good. Yeah, go to the gym, but even if you're not able to go to the gym, the thing that will help you is just walking and doing those things. And then the vegetables. And these are things that are like easy to do, easy not to do, and it's about implementing them. So but actually implementing them, and like as you were saying, keep it simple. It's things that you can sustain and do it, just repeatedly do it consistently, and the results are big, huge, life changing. What are some of the benefits that you've seen as you're working with people? What are some of the spin-off benefits that you've seen as people like are looking to lose weight?
Yeah, so in addition to weight loss and boundless energy, my clients have experienced other things, other benefits like reduced stress, improved mood, less mood swings, less bloating, regularity, clearer, brighter skin, less body aches and joint pain. I mean, the list goes on really. One woman I worked with had been struggling with weight gain from the pandemic for the past few years and had not been able to solve it. So we worked together, and yes, she lost her weight, but more importantly, she was able to improve her strength and performance in life and at the gym. She was able to lift heavier weights, something she was really happy about. I had another woman as well that was looking for weight loss, of course, and she got this, but she loved the ability to meal plan, just to be organized, be on top of her game rather than just be overwhelmed with daily life. And I like to say, you're running around, not organized, and making quick and fast decisions, and that's generally when we make bad decisions.
Right.
One of the things that is very common as well when I work primarily with women is that they are, let's say they're the key member of the family that determines the overall health. A lot of them are in charge of buying the groceries, making the meals, and so on. So it's not uncommon for the family, for the husband or spouse, for the kids to lose weight and also adopt healthier habits. And that's a massive spinoff. So yeah, as I work with these women, the people in their environment, their friends, their family, all of their loved ones, they kind of feed off of it. It's a little bit of an incredible ripple effect.
Yeah, I love all of that, Ange. And so yeah, it starts with weight loss, and I always ask that question because it always ripples out. And you're right, the women, the mom, they kind of are that key player in their environment, and when they're healthy and happy, it ripples out, and their children are seeing it, and their husbands eating healthier foods, and that's, I think it was the second example you shared there. Just being able to meal plan alone, just being able to be organized and know what the heck is for dinner, what are we doing here, and have that be a solution that has you losing weight, getting energy, and feeling good. That alone, even if you didn't even lose any weight, just to be like not like flattened and overwhelmed by life is huge. And I think especially for women as they're approaching menopause, perimenopause, postmenopausal, as they're approaching those ages, rather than kind of buying into that limiting belief, well, I guess this is just the way it is, and I guess I'm just going to have no energy, and just have to have this weight gain, and lose my strength. The thing I love most about you, Ange, is you walk your talk. You absolutely walk your talk. I've seen you several times in person. You are fit, you are healthy, you are consistent, you're strong, and you're doing it. And so it's not like you're saying, hey, you should eat that, or you should do that, or you should exercise that. You're actually doing it, and your actions speak louder than words. And people are like, I want what she's having. What is she doing? I want to look like that. And you, just by your very being and shining your light, you're popping a pin in the belief that you get older, you have to deteriorate. And as you say, in your 50s, you're feeling better, looking better than in your 20s or 30s. That's huge. And most people can't say that. And you're living proof it's possible. So for you out there, imagine what is possible. It's possible for you. So just because we're getting older does not mean we have to lose our strength, our energy, and we can get out ahead of it and be proactive. And it doesn't have to be extreme measures. And we're eating anyway. So what if we like organized it a little bit and tighten it up? And we're going to be having to get from point A to point B anyway. So what if we did that? And what if we cleaned it all up just a little bit and had massive effects, not only just for yourself, but for your families. And I know, and not just for your families, your friends, you know, you're the woman that you're working with is going to inspire her whole circle of friends and family and following. And that's how we help this world be a little bit brighter, healthier, happier. And that's really what we're doing. That's why I have you guys out here, just to spread a little love and light and some helpful tips along the way. So I just thank you so much, Angela, for being here and for sharing everything that you're doing here, so that people can be inspired. If people feel inspired to reach out to you, to connect, you're a fabulous person to reach out to, very easy to talk to, and just, you know, you get right to it, no judgment or any of that. What's the easiest way for them to connect with you?
Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Shauna, for having me. I've just been loving working with you, and just appreciate just all the love that you're sending. And I'm going to share that with more and more clients as well. Pass on. I'll just keep passing it. But if you want to connect with me, you can reach me at Health Coach Ange, so ang.com. I'm also on Facebook. My first name and last name. So Angela Laninga, Laninga. And I'm often running free challenges. So if you follow me there, you'll be able to see when I'm running them and hop on one of those perhaps.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So yeah, that's Health Coach Ange, ANG, .com is the best place to kind of connect with you, or Angela Laninga, but it's Laninga. That second N is silent. On Facebook are places where people can reach out. Thank you so much for everything, Angela. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, for all of you, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have further questions for this guest or any other topics you want to cover, pop those in the comments. We're always looking at who can we bring on as an expert to help you live a healthier, happier life. And with that, be good for you.